In this video, we shall be assessing the result sheet module. This is the module that enables us to upload the results for the students. So when you scroll down to the modules, the list of modules, you will see the result module here. In this case, we are going to be using the result sheet menu, So I click on the result sheet menu, then I can see the list of results already uploaded, and I can see the window to use for uploading student results. Now, the student result sheet is automatically calculated, but you need to enter the CA and the exam scores. Select the subject, enter the CA score, enter the exam score for each of the subjects. And at the end of the day, the result sheet calculate the total for both the CA and the exam for each subject, and eventually calculate the overall percentage performance of that particular student. It also gives you the advantage of automatically generating the form teacher's comment and the head teacher's comment. They are automatically generated. So I'll be walking you through entering new result sheet and assessing an existing result sheet. On this window, you can see that we have list of the students that have results already by their student ID, the session, and the exam that is recorded for that student. We can filter this list as it grows by current class of students. That means we will have all the list of the classes in the school by this right side of my window. So you can select if you want to see the result for SS3. If you click on it, you see only one student has is currently in SS3, and we can see all the result for that student. We can also see result for other classes. Primary 1, we don't have any. So, and we can of course clear the filter so that we can see all the student list. We can also search by the student ID. If you know the student ID you are looking for the result, you can just search straight for the student with the student ID, and the student ID will be filtered for you to access. Currently, we have these two results here. Let's access one of them. I'm going to click on 24 School 001, and you can see that on the new window, I have the information of these results completely displayed here. I can see the student name, I can see the student ID. The number you see in this search box does not really matter, and ensure you don't change it because it's the primary key of that particular student. So you don't have any business to do with this number and this particular number. Now we have the exam and the session, the term, the standard for that result, the exam date. The exam date is actually, you can select the last date of your exam. Let's say first time exam, the last date of the exam, or the first date of the exam can be selected. Then we have the subject. The subject is listed in subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, subject 4. You must have entered all your exam subjects while setting up your portal. Therefore, you can pick from the list of subjects. This is subject 1. You can pick a list of, you will see the list of all your exam subjects, so you can select the subject there. And then we have the scores. We have the score CA, we have the score for exam. You can see enter CA score and enter exam score. The CA score is actually over 40, while the exam score is over 60. So you enter the CA score and you enter the exam score for each of the subjects, So this is physics. Then you can go to the next subject and enter, pick the subject, and then enter the score for that subject accordingly. Then you go through all this up to 16 subjects. Having entered all the scores, you can see the remark here. This is optional. If you have any general remark you want to make, you can make that remark. And then the class teacher's comments. Ensure you can enter anything there. It doesn't really matter. The portal automatically generated this comment, but the class teacher's comment is left there in case you want to manually enter your comment yourself based on the performance of each student. So we will enable it for you. Currently, it is disabled to automatically generate for you, but you must enter something there. If you don't enter anything there, it will return an error. Both the principal comment, just enter any gibberish there, and then it will not be captured in the student result. Of course, the automatically generated comment will be entered there. So I can just enter T and enter T whatever here. Then the number of days the school open, the number of days the student is present based on the attendance. Then the next time resume. Then there is this approved button here. The approved button is finally checked when the final check is done on the result. Like you may want to check to confirm all the scores that have been entered either by the subject teacher, by the form teacher, or whoever that has been given the permission to enter all these scores for that particular exam. So once this approve button is clicked and you save, then it means that the student can now access this result on the student portal. But if you just save it without clicking the approve button, that means you are still processing that result. The student will see that result for the concluded exam is in process already from the student portal, but the student cannot access that result. On the person that is assigned to make a final approval of each of the results is comes here, open the result and click on approved to ensure that the student can now access that particular result. So this is the way to access the result from the admin panel, and then to make your entries into the result sheet, as you can see. So let us save this and then go back to the list of results. You can see the list of results here. Now, let us enter a new result for a student. So I'm going to click on add result sheet, add result sheet. Then with the add result sheet, we have an empty form here where we can start to enter all the data for that particular result. The first thing we need to do is to select the students that we want to enter the result for. Then you can see the search button beside the student detail. Then you see the student ID. These two information are very, very important. So let us search for the student we want to enter result for. So I am going to click on that. I click on the search button and you can see we have a pop-up window which lists all the students in the school. Of course, we will not be going through it one after the other. In your own portal, of course, you will see list of students, more than 100, 200, 300, 500, and all that. So as the one that has the privilege to access this, let's assume I am an SS3 teacher, for instance. So I am an SS3 subject teacher. So I can quickly come to this place. I can see by class, that's filter by class. So I just go and select all the SS3 students. You can see all the SS3 students. Now, it is easier for me to locate the student I want to enter result for. So I can say this is the list of all the SS3 students. Of course, this list may grow into 100 or so, but I know that I am seeing all the SS3 students. So if I know them by their last name, I can search by the student last name or by the student first name or even by the student username. Or I can pick them one after the other. Now that it is already streamlined to the particular class, we can say we have the student, we have current classes, just SS3. So it has stripped the student, it has stripped the list of all other students and given us only the student in SS3. So with this, I can pick them one after the other because it is result and we have to enter it carefully, selecting the students one after the other. So I have this particular student, so I click on the student. When I click on the student, 2 is returned into that search box. Of course, that doesn't really tell me which student is this. I may make mistake to maybe probably forget which particular student is this. Just go down straight after that. Do as if you want to save, click on the save button and it will return all this plenty error that you have not entered all this other data. But with this, it has enabled us to see the name of that student. So you can see this is the student in this class. So I know that I'm actually entering result for Ogo Precious. So I can go ahead to I know that the student username is 23school003. So because I need to enter it right into the student ID again, I need to repeat it. So I can say 23 school 003. So I can search it from this plenty list that will display again, so I can always pick that. Then it will return another number. Don't bother yourself with the number that is returning, but with this, we know that we are actually entering for Ogu Precious. So we can now move ahead to enter every other data. The exam, let's say the exam is mid-term exam or is mock exam. You can add new exam if you can actually add new exam, or you can pick from the list of exams that has already been entered. Okay, let me enter a new exam. For instance, here I'm going to click the plus sign which say add exam. So I'm going to say this one is our second term exam, for instance. Now then for the which standard is SS3. I say this is for SS3 second term exam, so I can always save this. So I have already entered exam for this. Of course, the exam must have been entered by your administrator already. You just need to pick from the list. You must have set up your portal to include all your exams right there, so that it will be easy for whoever that is entering the data to just pick from the exam list. However, the method I use now is just for you to add new exam. So I can pick second term exam. Then it's asking me for the section, so I can say it's for 2023 section. If you have not really entered the section, you can click to add section also. So it's a quick way to add your section. Then the term, of course, is second term. Then the standard, like we have already picked, we said is a SS3. Now the exam date, I'm going to pick the last date of the exam. Let's say it's 30th November. Then I'm going to pick the subjects. Now I will see all the subjects. So the subject arrangement depends on how you enter it for each of the subjects. So it doesn't really mean that you must enter English and then mathematics next and all that. So you can pick any of the subjects you are ready to enter or that is ready for data entry. So I'm going to pick computer, and then I enter the score for the CA. I'm going to say it's 35. If you enter a score that is more than 40 in the CA, it will return error and it will not save. So because the CA is over 40, so I do 35. Then for the exam score for that subject, remember we are entering for computer, so I've entered 35 for the CA and I'm entering 55 for the exam. So I go like that again, and then I can save this. I can just save this. If I am the computer teacher for that class, and I'm given the privilege to enter the data for that particular score. So I'm done with that. I will just go ahead and save that data. I've already saved it for this student for this exam. So if the second teacher is coming in, of course, he just needs to just edit that and then continue. If he's the English teacher, you can pick the next available portion here, the next available input here, and say, okay, I'm the English teacher. The student score 23 in CA and the student score 40 in the exam. Then save it. Then let the next teacher come and, of course, edit the student just like that. So every other teacher can access it, even at the same time and at different time also. So we have the exam for this. I'm going to click the student also. And then if you have assigned the form teacher to do it, I mean the class teacher. So the class teacher already has all the data of the student from all the subject teachers. So it is very easy for the class teacher to enter straight away and enter all the subjects and the scores for that particular student. Having done all that, you just go and then put your remark. If there is any remark, any special remark you want to put, otherwise you can leave it empty. The class teacher's comment, like I said, you can just type anything there, but make sure you type something there. If you don't type something there, it will not submit this form. But I said that the class teacher comment and the principal comment does not really display in the student result. It doesn't display in the student result because it is currently disabled for it to be automatically generated. So this class teacher comment and principal comment is automatically generated on the result sheet, and this is automatically generated based on the performance, the overall percentage scored by the students in all the subjects. So it generates that comment differently for the class teacher and differently for the principal also. Then you can enter the next time score resume. The approve form, the approve button rather, it is used to approve this entry because you may want to do a final check on the result to be sure that all the entries entered by the teachers are correct or if you need to do correction, you can do that. Once you say approve and you save, then it means that the student can access this result. But if you don't approve it yet while the entry still continues, then the student can know that the result is in process, but the student cannot access the result. So I'm going to click approve for this result and I'm going to save it. So assuming that all the subjects have been entered, and then the final check has been done, and the student can access the result. This is the way to enter your result sheet straight from the admin panel. Now we can also access it from the admin dashboard, from the teacher's dashboard, the admin dashboard also. Let's see the entry of it from the admin dashboard. I'm logged into the admin dashboard currently as the admin or as a teacher, whatever the case is. So I go to student tools and I can see load report sheet. If you click on load report sheet from this admin panel, of course you will see the form, the same form we're looking at in the admin panel. But in this case, you can see you need to really walk through all the students in the school. If I have to now pick here, you can see I have to pick the student detail where I will see the list of all the students. And that is why it is advisable that you give privilege to whoever that is supposed to enter information for the student result in the admin panel. So the such user should have the staff status to enter straight from the admin panel, so that it will be easy for that user to search for the student by class and search for the students by their subject. So you can actually enter it from here, but the advice is that you enter straight from the admin panel. Then we, as the admin or as the class teacher, you can access the result for the students. In this case, if I say view student result, from the admin panel, I can view all the results that has been entered previously from the admin panel. So you can see I have the students detailed here. I have the exam detail, the second term exam, the session, and the term. And I can see the subject. It's captured up to 16 subjects, subject 1, subject 2, subject 3, up to 16 subjects straight there. You can see, you can scroll with this, and you can see the score for each of the subject for the student. You can see for this subject computer, in this exam for this precious, you can see the CA is 35, the exam is 55. The total is already calculated, as you know. Then the subject 2, the C in English, the CA is 23, the exam is 40 for this exam. You can filter by the exam. You can filter by the term. You can even filter by the session. You can filter by the class of the student, so that you can see the result for each of those students in a particular class, just the way we did in the admin panel. But here you have a summary of the score for each of the students straight at a glance on a screen. You can see we can see all the results here, the subjects that are entered and the subjects that are not entered yet. So you can access it, and if you suspect any figures that you are not comfortable with, you can quickly see them here. In this subject, this student scored 35 over 40 and scored 55 over 60 here. If you need to do any correction here, of course you can do it straight from this admin panel, from this dashboard rather, by just going straight to the final menu here. You see action, you can see update the result, or you can even view the student report sheet on this exam. So you can see update. If I click on the update, it will take me to a window where I can update this particular result. You can see the student details already picked, and all the entries that have been made for this student. So I can say, oh, this student did not score 40 in exam. The student actually scored 39. So I can correct it. I can say the student scored 39 in English language. You can see we have the English language, the score for the CA, and the score for the exam also. This is the CA. This is the exam. So you can see the subject here. So you can make your correction straight from here and update the detail for that student. You can say, I can also view the report card or the report sheet of the student for this particular exam. Let's say I want to check this. I can view the result sheet for each of the exams for each of the students also. Under the action, you see updates, which we have just used. Then you see the view. You can actually view the result. The result is customized according to your school information, your school logo, and all that. Then you can see that it has captured all the student information, the subject as we have entered, the information that we entered. Then these are the subjects that we entered, and the overall percentage is calculated. The grading is done automatically, as you can see. The CA for this subject is this. The total for it is 90. If you add this to this, then the grade is A. The remark is excellent. So it has done the total, it has done the grading, and it has entered the remark. Now, for the class teacher's comment, you can see that we have the class teacher comment automatically generated here. We have, you are doing well, but there is room for improvement in some area. This is based on the overall percentage of this particular student. Then we have the principal comment also. You can see impressive work overall. Continue to strive for excellence. And then the grading system is noted here. This can be customized to your school. And this is the other remark that I noted while we're working in the admin section. And if you have any information you want to type there, you can put there. You can just leave it blank also. Other information can be customized into your student report sheet. Even the letterhead or the logo at the top here can be done according to what you want your school to have. And this result sheet also has the QR code here that make this result to be unique to this particular student. So with this, we can access the result sheet of the student, and we can go back to make corrections accordingly if we are not satisfied with the detail that is entered into this. So this is the way to enter result for each of the students, assess the result data that has been imputed for the student, and then make correction, make update, make corrections, or view the result before the final approval of the results. In the result sheet module also, we can download the CSV version of the entire result of the school. We can download it from this download menu here, download CSV. Once you click on the download CSV, you can see the result is being downloaded. So I can open it in an Excel format. So you can see that the result is already downloaded for all the students. You can work on it from the Excel environment, which enables you to have a local file for those results. And as you can see, it has captured all that we have in the portal now on our local computer. You can see the student username, the detail of the student, the class for that student, and the exam in question, the session, the term, each of the subject also. You can see the CA score, the exam score for each of the subjects, and you can see the total score for that particular subject. Let's say this subject 1 here. So you can filter it based on the student, based on the class, based on any criteria you want to filter from your Excel environment. Now you can see for the subject 1, you can see all the subject that is entered as subject 1 for any of the students. We have computer for this, and then you can see the total. For subject 2 also, you can see it, and accordingly you see for all the subject, all the scores, and the total for that particular subject for that student. So this is the way to get a local version of your file, of your exam file for all the students in the school. So it is very easy for you to filter by their class. You select the class and you can filter by the class so that you see all the SS3 or all the JS1, because this file is going to grow in such a way that you have all the results in the school captured on this file. Then you can go to the end where you even see the overall percent for that particular result for that particular student. So it captures all the details that you have entered in the portal and save into your local computer, so you can have a local backup of what your portal has as result for the students. So this is a simple way to quickly enter your result and then assess the result, make corrections, and do all the necessary input into the student result sheet. Thank you very much.